But what if it wasn't just a metaphor anymore? That's what we're diving into today.
Right.
A story from BGR about this company, FinalSpark. And they say they've built the world's first bioprocessor
Right.
using actual human brain cells.
Wow. That's something else.
It's pretty wild, right?
Uh,
It's like science fiction, but it's real.
It is. It is. And this is, I mean, this is a huge development.
It's huge.
Because, well, the article says this thing could be 1,000,000 times more energy efficient.
1,000,000 times?
Yeah, than the processes we use now.
So that's a game changer.
Oh, absolutely, if it's true.
Yeah, if it's true. But okay, hold on. Let's back up for a sec.
Okay.
What even is a bioprocessor?
Well, it starts with these things called organoids.
Organoids.
Yeah, so imagine like tiny clusters of human brain cells that they grow in a lab.
Okay.
They're not actually brains.
Right.
But they kind of work like simplified versions of them.
Okay, so they're like mini brains, kind of.
Yeah, you could think of it like that.
Okay, I'm with you. So how do you go from these like mini brains in a dish
Yeah.
to part of an actual computer? How does that even work?
Well, they figured out a way to connect these organoids. I think they're using around 16 of them
16.
to a computer system.
Hmm.
And this whole thing where you're mixing biological stuff with the normal hardware and software, they call that wetware.
Wetware. It's a little creepy, but also kind of cool.
It's very sci-fi. But yeah, there's a pretty good word for it. And it could really change things, especially for AI, like artificial intelligence.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
Think about the energy it takes to train like a large language model.
Oh, right, like those AI things that can practically write a novel for you now?
Yeah, exactly.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
But I've also heard they use a crazy amount of power.
Oh, they're energy hogs for sure. Like way more than you'd think.
Yeah.
Like train something like GPT-3, which is one of the big ones.
Right.
Uses more energy than like 6,000 people in Europe use in a whole year.
Wow. Okay, so that's a lot.
It's a crazy amount.
It puts it in perspective.
Yeah, and so if this bioprocessor thing, if it really is as efficient as they're saying,
Yeah.
that could be massive.
Okay, so instead of these big, power-hungry AI models, we could have, like, bioprocessors doing the same work,
Potentially, yeah.
but using way less energy.
Way, way less. Like a fraction.
That sounds incredible, but also, I don't know, is it too good to be true?
It might be. I mean, it's definitely super early.
Yeah.
And right now they're just offering it as a subscription service.
A subscription?
Yeah, like how you subscribe to like cloud computing.
Wait, so you're telling me they're selling subscriptions to brain power?
Well, that's one way to put it.
What does that even look like?
It's a weird setup. The article, it mentioned that they're even using cryptocurrency to pay for it, some coin called PCM.
PCM?
Yeah, I've never heard of it either.
Wild. Talk about a glimpse into the future. But okay, let's be real. Can they actually make enough of these things?
That's the question.
Could we actually get to a point where everyone has access to this kind of brain-powered computing?
Honestly, it's way too early to say.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hurdles, just with the technology itself. And then even if they get it working perfectly, figuring out how to make enough, that's a whole other thing.
So we've got this potentially revolutionary technology. It could change how we use energy, how AI is developed, but
it's just the beginning.
it's just the beginning.
The very, very beginning.
The tip of the iceberg.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it so interesting, right?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just about, oh, computers are going to be a little faster now.
Right.
This is a totally different way of thinking about computing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's like it changes everything.
Everything. And that's where things get really wild.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Because we're not just talking about faster computers here. We're talking about a totally different way of, like, interacting with technology itself.
Totally. And what it even means for technology, too. It might change how we even think about what technology is.
Exactly. So we've got these computers powered by actual brain cells. But
Yeah.
I got to ask, what does that even mean for how they actually, compute?
Right.
Is it really that different from a normal computer?
That's the really interesting part, because we tend to think of computers as like
Right.
these really, really fast calculators,
Right.
just crunching numbers, ones and zeros, that's it.
Yeah.
But the human brain and these organoids too,
Yeah.
they don't really work like that at all.
So how do they work?
It's all about connections.
Connections.
Yeah, like imagine this massive network of neurons all connected,
Okay.
and they're sending signals back and forth constantly.
Mm-hmm.
That's how the brain processes information through all these crazy complex pathways.
Okay.
And so the organoid, it's It's simplified, obviously,
Right.
but it still works on the same, like, basic principles.
Okay, so I'm starting to get it. This web of connections. But
Yeah.
how does that translate into like, I don't know, writing a poem or designing a building?
Well, think about how we learn.
Yeah. Right.
We make connections.
Yeah.
We start to see patterns.
Right.
We learn from our mistakes.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what these bioprocessors could do, potentially.
Yeah.
They could learn and adapt
Yeah.
in ways that normal computers just they can't.
So you're saying instead of just like following instructions,
Right.
these bioprocessors could actually learn and change over time.
Exactly.
That's kind of freaky, but also really cool.
It's both. And for AI, this is huge
Okay.
because now it's instead of just processing data, it's like
Yeah.
AI could actually understand it
Wow.
like we do.
Yeah.
And that changes everything for like machine learning, data analysis, all that.
So we're talking about AI that can like connect the dots that we don't even see.
Yeah, like it can make leaps in logic
Right. Right.
that right now computers just they can't do.
Come up with solutions we haven't even thought of.
Exactly. It's like the difference between someone who can like read sheet music
Yeah.
and someone who can actually feel the music, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
These bioprocessors, they could bring that kind of like depth,
Yeah.
that nuance to computing. It's
Yeah.
a whole new level.
It's almost like a whole new kind of intelligence.
Almost. It's getting close.
Yeah. Yeah. But if we're gonna go there, we also have to talk about what this means for other stuff too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like this has got to be huge for medicine.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the article, it only mentioned it briefly,
Right.
but the possibilities in healthcare they're enormous.
Okay.
Imagine like being able to model diseases
Yeah.
with this crazy level of detail and accuracy,
Right. Yeah.
or developing treatments that are tailored to like your specific biology.
So it's like having this like perfect window into how the human body works
In a way, yeah.
But even more than that.
And it's not just about understanding diseases better, which is huge in itself.
Right.
This could totally change how we develop new drugs too.
Really?
Yeah, because now we can test them on these like virtual models that are like way more accurate than anything we have now.
So we're talking about safer drugs, more effective drugs,
Potentially, yeah.
all thanks to these bioprocessors. Sign me up. But I bet it goes even further than that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the article mentioned robotics.
Right.
And
Yeah.
and that's another area where this could be like totally transformative.
How so?
Imagine robots that can actually learn and adapt like on the fly, you know?
Okay.
They can handle these super complex situations
Okay.
and they can interact
Yeah.
with us, with the world
Yeah.
in a way that's way more natural, way more intuitive than what we're used to.
Robots that can learn and adapt as they go. That's kind of blowing my mind.
It's wild, right?
Yeah, and it's like, what does that even mean for us? You know what I mean?
Totally. And that's what's so crazy about this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not just like robots doing our dishes or computers getting a little bit faster.
Yeah.
This is deeper.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, think about it.
Okay.
This technology, it's not just some like human invention.
Yeah.
It's built on like the actual building blocks of our brains.
Right.
It's like we're holding up a mirror to our own minds trying to figure out how we work.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
And maybe in the process, we discover something totally new about ourselves.
It's like we're trying to understand ourselves, but instead of just using our brains, we're building new ones to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
It's wild.
It's pretty wild.
And this article, I mean, it's not even just about a new computer, really.
Yeah.
It's about pushing the limits of what we thought was possible, like with technology, but also with like how we understand the human brain.
You know, it's funny. We started with this article about a company building a computer that runs on brain cells.
Right.
And now we're talking about robots that can learn and medicine that's totally personalized and unlocking the secrets of the human mind.
It's a lot to take in.
It really is. Yeah, it's kind of a lot to process, honestly.
But that's what's so cool about this kind of stuff, right? Every time we like figure something out,
Yeah.
it just leads to more questions, more possibilities.
Totally. And to me, I think the biggest thing is this. This isn't just technology changing, This is technology that could change how we understand ourselves.
Absolutely. And how we understand, like, the world around us even.
Exactly. And that's pretty exciting stuff.
It really is. Makes you wonder what we'll come up with next.
I know, right? Who knows what the future holds? It's going to be wild.
That's for sure.